Hola, ¿qué tal amigos de Decisión de Lujo? Estamos otra vez con nuestras entrevistas y hay que recordarles cómo pueden estar en contacto con nosotros. Primero a través de la página decisiondelujo.com y me pueden seguir personalmente en Dr Gustavo Adolfo con el hashtag Decisión de Lujo en Twitter. Okay, well now I'm going to introduce you with Marc Lewis. Thank you for coming, Marc.
Thank you for having me here.
Yeah. Well, Marc is a very interesting person because he's working in some trendy fields that are related with science. But I would like you first for you to talk about probably your background. Who's Marc Lewis?
Okay. So yeah, I was born, raised in this country.
Which country?
In England.
Right.
Spent a bit of my childhood in growing up in America as well. Moved back here for full-time education, which is where I found a love of biology as a whole, like what makes the world tick, all organisms within it. I then went down to Portsmouth to do my undergrad, where microbiology was my main passion. Like I just liked these microscopic creatures that have a huge impact on the world, and there's still so much about them and so many of the species that we just don't know about.
Why these species are important for humans?
Well, a class example of there are more bacterial cells in your body than there are human cells. Yeah, so if you weigh yourself in the morning, less than half that weight is actually you.
All right.
So, it's like...
I feel scared, man.
It is, scary fact. And, slight changes in this, it can make you ill, it can make you better, it can change your life, like just little changes. And it's the same with the soil. Like they're the most diverse species on the planet and they outweigh all other organisms in terms of biomass. So that's why I find them so interesting.
Yeah, I think like probably it's kind of in these days we have to be clear. It's more trendy because you can find science in many ways. You know, like for instance, Big Bang Theory. You know, so but rather than that, there are more important things. Like, why do you think science and specifically the way or the field that you are working? Why is that important for enterprises or business?
Okay, well, my main field at the moment is in toxicology. So businesses at the moment are under a lot of pressure from the European Courts and Commission to reduce, remove and replace animal testing, just because people don't want animal tested products anymore. They want something that's, as I say, clean. It's not, no animal has died to put it on the shelf. So
yeah, I think it's a bit unfair, actually.
So with this growing industry, like businesses are under pressure to cut this out, and toxicology is therefore a growing field because it is our field that looks at new techniques to test these shower gels and antibiotics, painkillers, all this stuff. My interest in microbiology is to try and find ways of doing this using bacteria and microbes, because if you think with animal testing, you've got to raise them, grow them up, feed them throughout the duration of the test, and that costs companies thousands upon thousands. And when you look at how much testing they do for chemicals, it's up in the billions.
Would you like to tell us something more about what you're doing in this moment?
At this particular moment, I'm currently doing my dissertation project for my master's, and I'm looking at different tools that can be used to fingerprint bacteria that's within a biome. So if someone gave you a blood sample or a soil sample, a tool that could quickly analyze that and tell you exactly what and how many of the various bacterial species are in it. And the whole principle of it is because there's currently a international task force which is being spearheaded by the FBI with the growing threat of bioterrorism and these like harmful bacteria. They want a really quick tool that can quickly go, what is it, so that we can get antibiotics out to those in need quickly.
Sure.
And because current processes, it takes a couple of days, you've got to grow them up and then test them with each antibiotic to find out what they're resistant to. They're hoping to build a database of all bacteria with all resistance, so when a quick test is applied, they can find out what it is and quickly roll out an emergency response.
Right.
The other example is with the amount of agrochemical being applied to fields, there's more thought being put into how it changes all the bacteria that grow in the soil that help plants, like the good bacteria. So they want another little tool you can go stick in the ground and it'll say what's there, is it good, and whether you'll have a good harvest that year.
Right. Well, unfortunately we have to wrap it up now. So would you be happy answering some questions for the public?
Yeah, if anyone has any questions, I'll happily.
How can we find you in the internet?
Best bet is probably my email, marclewis_7@hotmail.com. I'm always on it and I respond pretty quick with it, so that's probably your best bet to get hold of me.
Brilliant. So would you like to say adios?
Adios.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me, it's been great.
All right, see you guys.
Bye.
Thank you very much. Remember to follow us. Bye bye.